Mark my words, Dungeon Quest needed this update. But anyways, on June 18th, 2022, Dungeon Quest got a new update that wasn't a dungeon. It's not a quality of life update, but it is something newer that does mix up one of the dungeons in the game. On that day, Dungeon Quest was given an optional boss that players can fight right after the final boss in Northern Lands. So in this video, I will be teaching you how to beat Odin Reincarnated, the new hardest boss in Dungeon Quest. As mentioned earlier, the only place that players can fight this boss at is at the end of Northern Lands on Nightmare mode. Before I cover the actual boss and his attack patterns, let's talk about your ideal team setup and a few things that you should know before fighting Rodin. That's what the community has been calling him, but anyways. This team setup works great for those that are first starting out with the boss, but Odin Reincarnated can actually allow for almost as many people as possible, given that everyone knows the attack patterns, and obviously is also willing to work as a team, but let's continue. For the sake of this video, however, I'm going to recommend that teams limit themselves to 4 players, 1 healer, and 3 DPS. The better Valhalla armor your healer has, the better, but all DPS should have at least green Valhalla armor with a legendary and should be able to do 1.5 quadrillion damage with at least 1.5 billion health. This is a must-have for all DPS. Alright, now for the attacks. And by the ways, these attacks are going to be covered in the order that you will see them when you first fight this guy. Rodin has 1 environmental attack with many different attacks that have different patterns. First, we have the Snake Circle attack. This attack is the environmental attack that I mentioned, and is the attack that you shouldn't worry too much about since you have a healer. If you have 1.6 billion health, then you'll be able to tank this with no problem. Just make sure not to get caught by this attack and another attack without heals, because it does do a lot of damage. Like, a lot of damage. Next is the Colored Orbital Strike attack. This attack is very easy to avoid. When this attack is used, there will be 3 colored rings that will appear on the floor in 3 different positions of the arena. One of these 3 rings will protect you, the other 2 will not. And the only way to tell which one of these 3 rings will save you is by looking at the pillar that appears in the center of the arena. That pillar will be one of the 3 colors of the ring. So basically, go to the same color ring that is the same color as the pillar, stand in it, and stand in it until it explodes. Next is the Red Ring attack. This attack is similar to the Enchanted Forest Dragon's Ring attack, but with a slight twist. This attack targets players and gives players a red ring around them. 5 seconds after the rings appear, they will turn into red circles that will melt any players inside of them. This isn't the only threat, however, as there is also a big blue pillar that spews out a bunch of lingering blue orbs that freeze and also give anti-healing to any players that touch them. It looks scary, but this attack is actually very easy to dodge. All you need to do is be observant and dodge the blue orbs, while also making sure you can get out of the red circle in time. This can be done easily by just moving in one singular direction for the duration of the 5 seconds. The red snake attack is also present on this, so be careful and watch for it. But once you are outside of the red circle, then you're good. Just make sure to get to the top of the stairs before the next 2 attacks activate, because the next attacks are going to require you to be on at least the outskirts and in the middle of the arena to dodge them well. The stairs can act as a great visual point of interest for this, since they are right where you need to be to dodge the 2 attacks. These 2 attacks are the Starburst Line attack and the Arena Wave attack. Once the Red Ring attack clears, then a massive star-like shape composed of many different lines will spawn and will attack in a circle-like pattern. Then immediately after that, a bunch of large red rectangles start closing in from either the right or the left side of the entire arena and will cover the entirety of the arena minus one side of the arena. These 2 attacks are very easy to dodge, even though the Arena Wave attack is one of the main reasons why people die in this boss fight. With the Starburst Line attack, all you need to do is sidestep in between the lines and you'll dodge it super easily. If you're in the middle of the arena, then dodging the Arena Wave attack will also be super easily, since you can easily run to the opposite side of the arena to dodge it. Just be careful, because if you aren't moving away from the wave attack by the time it appears, then you're gonna get caught in it, and at that point,
お前はもう死んでいる。
you're already dead. And for Rodin's final 2 attacks, we have the Memory attack and the Healing attack. The Memory attack is either the trickiest attack in the fight, or it is the simplest and easiest to dodge on, depending on who you are. Either way, this attack involves a large area across the entire arenas, and that entire area is split into 2 halves. When the attack activates, one of the two halves will flash bright green and will either flash again after that, or it won't flash again. The halves will flash in a sequence of 4 times in a pattern, and it is up to you to keep track of which side flashes, since the pattern in which the two halves flash bright green will be what keeps you alive during this attack. So as a whole, it's a little memory game. Make sure to stay in the safe half until the other side flashes bright red, then either stay on the side that you're in, or switch over to the other side, depending on the sequence of the green flashes. Once you finish with that attack, then Rodin spawns a bunch of red and green orbs that will slowly move towards him. This is the healing attack. And I'm calling it this because depending on what color orb touches Rodin or the players, it can either heal Rodin or hurt the player. And not just singular, all of them, because it's a nuke. Because of course this boss has to have a nuke attack. Here's how to counter this attack, and it's super simple. Touch the green orbs before they touch Rodin and avoid the red ones. Simple, right? Well, make sure to hit every single green orb. Even if a single green orb touches Rodin, he will heal a major chunk of his health. And that is the entirety of Rodin's attacks. But don't go anywhere because I'm going to give you some tips to make your time easier with this boss. It would also be super beneficial to share this video with your team, so I would recommend you do that. But also, if this video is helpful to you, then make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe with notifications turned on. And also, why not consider becoming a member? But anyways, back to the tips. For the red ring attack, it's best to group all the circles into one single spot to make dodging the starburst and wave attacks much easier. Get all players in the run to group in an area off towards the center, but off to the left a little bit since the first blue orbs spawn and move off to the right. And move back towards the stairs once the circles spawn. For the memory attack, stand right next to the center line in the very center of the arena to make switching sides easier and to completely dodge all of the snake attacks completely. For the healing attack, spread out and have your team stand in a semicircle of sorts, and have them only go for the orbs on their side. This is handy for larger groups to ensure that all green orbs get blocked. And finally, if you're running a large group and the blue orbs pose too much of a threat to your team, you can designate a healer to stand in the middle of the arena and cycle their heals in sync with another healer to tank all of the blue orbs without losing out on heals. This will pop most, if not all, of the blue orbs, which will make dodging them super easy. Just make sure that the healers that tank the blue orbs have at least 5.5 billion health. This strat was discovered by my boy Warclipes. So if you want to give him some love, then his channel link will be in the description of this video. Go drop him a sub. Rodin is a super easy boss, but you cannot fight Rodin until you first complete Northern Lands. So if you want to learn how to beat Northern Lands, then make sure to watch this video right here and learn about how to absolutely clap the funny Viking dungeon.